Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh golly, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. What can I say? What can I say? What a day. What a day. I'm Tom Sinclair. Welcome to Streaming Idiots. You know, I wanted to make sure you knew who I was. That's why 2 lower thirds there. No, just teasing. Today's been an interesting day. For those of you watching live, you already know the backstory. For those of you that are watching live on YouTube, the little banner at the bottom of the screen is for you. But if you're watching after the fact on YouTube, don't pay any attention to the banner at the bottom of the screen. Basically, we had to sort of bail from our regular CDN today because we were getting some buffering and couldn't figure out exactly where it was coming from. So we bailed and we decided to have a go with YouTube Live. And so we're doing YouTube Live and had to make a lot of last minute adjustments. You know me, I advise you to have a backup CDN that you're ready to use. But do I? No. What fun would that be? What fun would that be? So we've had a lot of fun in pre-show, kind of figuring out some of the nuts and bolts of it. And hat tip to Mike for giving me the code to put allow full screen in there. So if you're watching live, you can do full screen in the bottom right hand, right over there, the bottom right hand corner. And that wasn't working previously. I had to do an allow full screen adjustment to the code. So welcome to all the folks that are watching live. Welcome to those of you that are watching on YouTube live and or recorded. We hope you'll subscribe so that if you happen to miss the show or if you get here late and you want to see what happened at the beginning of the show, then come on. In fact, actually, I think the YouTube live part is going to be recorded from the very beginning of the pre-show. So it's going to end up being a really, really long show, whereas the show really is aimed at 30 minutes. Sometimes it ends up being 35 or 40. But so today's show, at least the recorded version from YouTube Live, will be recorded at 720p and below, and will include the pre-show and the post-show. So cool. And we'll also upload just the show portion at 1080p for those folks that want to watch us on their big screen TV. I don't know why you would, but you never know. So with that kind of fumbled introduction, let's dive into the show. Really excited about today's show. We've got kind of a mixed bag, and before we get into it, I wanted to chat just ever so briefly about NDI. If you haven't heard about NDI, I'm not going to go through the long description here for you, but just go to NewTek's website. Those are the TriCaster folks, and read something about NDI. It's really exciting technology. And I was thinking this morning as I was putting all this together, I've had NDI now, I guess, I don't know, a couple of months, and I've integrated NDI into my workflow so much so that I don't even think about it anymore. It's there. It does its thing like it's supposed to. And that is the mark, I think, of good technology. It's non-intrusive. It works. It makes life easier. And hey, you don't have to sweat to make it work. I'm loving this. So big thumbs up from me for NDI NewTek. NewTek gets the Tom Sinclair Screaming Idiots Award for non-sweating technology. How about that? You've never heard of that one before, I'm sure. So I'm taking NDI for granted. Thank you, NewTek. And thank you to Martin Sinclair, my 19th cousin and CEO of vMix, for putting NDI in vMix and being an early adopter in that process. By the way, vMix is up to 17.0.0.85 as of May 25th, 2016. So if your version is version 17 but older than 8.5, you need to come on up to 8.5 because there's an update to the NDI from NewTek that's now in the vMix version 8.5. And by the way, if you have vMix desktop capture, your current version is not 0.85. Last time I checked, it was 0.66, so it doesn't look like those kind of match. So pay attention to that. Not a big deal. And in fact, don't even pay attention to it. It's not a big deal. What I wanted to start out with is one of the things that kind of has been in the news in my world. And keep in mind, if you're watching this show, and this show is part of your world is really small. My world is really small. The streaming technology world is not a big world. There are not a lot of people that are interested in it. But for those that are, it was a pretty big deal. At least it was newsworthy that Facebook has live streaming. Facebook live streaming. Okay, well, YouTube got live streaming, and I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. That's appropriate. Most people go to YouTube. Well, up until that point, everybody went to YouTube for recorded video. Now you can go there for live video. I mean, like you're going to turn on YouTube and say, what's on today? I'm going to channel surf on YouTube. I don't think people are going to do that. Now, I'm a Facebook guy. I'm not an early adopter, and I'm not a big Facebook guy, but I use it to creep on my kids and my grandchildren, and to try to stay up with what's going on with friends around the country and around the world. And so it's important to me like that. I don't know that I would ever go to Facebook as a source for live video. I just don't think I would. Now, if I'm a provider, a content provider, I guess I am, I would probably still not go to Facebook for live video. But if I were cheap, well, I am cheap. Maybe I should be using Facebook. No, just teasing. Well, maybe I should. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that Facebook Live is, at least for the moment, is free. You've got 45 minutes of live video that it can actually be recorded, and so it becomes part of your Facebook page. And I think if you can't do it currently, very, very shortly, you're going to be able to stream 24/7, although they're not going to record it. It's just going to be, I think it'll record the first 45 minutes, and then after that, it'll kill that archive if you go longer than that. And hat tip to Broadcast Now, the Tech Buzz, Stephen Haywood and Marty McPadden, and Mike. I never remember Mike's name. Sorry, Mike. Anyway, those guys were talking about that yesterday on Broadcast Now, which you'll probably want to watch if you haven't already. Broadcast Now from the Tech Buzz. It's on Tuesday afternoons at, I think, 5 p.m. Eastern. Anyway, so Facebook Live. Will people go to Facebook to watch video? Or are people just cruising through Facebook and might stumble over a video? Well, when I was a fisherman, and I wasn't a very good fisherman, I would just throw a line in the water, hoping that a fish would stumble on. And my son, who turned out to be a very good fisherman, he'd say, Dad, no, you got to go where the people are, where the viewers are. And people that are looking for video to view are going to YouTube. They're not going to Facebook. Is Facebook going to be able to change that? I don't think so. Is Facebook going to be able to garner a lot of live viewers through this? I think it's going to be that occasional fish that cruises by that happens to have a live feed pop up in their live feed. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it being any more than the same kind of anomaly or fad that 3D TV was 5 years ago. Everybody said 3D TV, it's the wave of the future. It wasn't the wave of the future. It was people trying to sell TV sets. And, other than a 3-year-old that wants to watch cartoons, I can't imagine a regular viewer of 3D TV. Now, I've probably offended a lot of folks that like that, but I've got a 3D TV. How many times have I watched 3D? Maybe once when we first got it, just so. If you're going to go somewhere, and Tommy just said this in the chat room, if you're going to go somewhere looking for video, you're going to go to YouTube. YouTube's the #2 search engine. If you're looking for information, if you're looking for how to do something, if you're looking for, well, in my case, for this show, this technology show about streaming, you're going to go to YouTube to find out about streaming. And sooner or later, you're going to stumble on this show. Crummy as it is, there are enough of them out there. It's like bugs in your path. Sooner or later, you're going to step on one. And I think YouTube is the place to be. I don't think that Facebook's going to make it. We'll see. We'll watch. And there'll be some folks that say, hey, Facebook is going to be a great forum for me because I already have a big following, and it will be sort of a natural, and I can kind of pin a live show up to the top of my feed. So more power to you. If that works for you, I'm hoping it does. Let's change gears here for just a second. And if you're just joining us live on YouTube, you know, pay attention to that ticker at the bottom. It's only for the live viewers now. And you can join the chat by going to Eastern Shore Broadcasting /watch-on-YouTube-live, or you can read like with the rest of us. Now, while we were having our disaster this morning, one of the things that happened was that I didn't get to do all my pre-show setup. So allow me for just a second. I want to talk about the Magewell USB 3.0 Dongle series. And so I got some photos for that. And here they are. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and put those up here. Let's see. Let's just go. Yeah, there we go. This is the Magewell. This happens to be the HD SDI version. As you can see, it fits in the palm of my hand. Well, it fits in the fingers of my hand. And as you can tell by the blue USB cord on the right, it's USB 3. And it's really pretty cool. This particular one right here is actually the SDI version. Plugs in one end USB 3, the other end kind of a mini version, might even be a proprietary version, I don't know, of SDI, but it also comes with the jumper cable. You can see that the jumper cable there coming out the end of it and connecting to the SDI cable, and I'll show you what it's connected to live here in just a second. And let's see, I think can I go? Yeah, and that's just sorry for the mess, but that's just a good idea of a good way to use it. It's a laptop with USB 3, and we're bringing a camera into it, and it is the way to go. Price-wise, you're looking at $300. You've got to have USB 3. I think it'll work with USB 2, but I don't think it'll work in high definition with USB 2. And why pay $300 for something that you can get a $35 easy cap to do at standard definition? They're saying in the chat room it's a trip hazard. You can navigate that. Oh, come on, guys. Gee whiz. I tell you what a bunch of weenies. Can't just tiptoe over 25 different cables. And Martin K says that it is indeed, it's an MCX connector, which he believes is micro coax, which is the little connector, but they supply that connector with it. It was not 4K, is one of the questions in the chat room. It is 1080p, 30 frames a second for sure. I don't think it's 60 frames now, and that's a good question. I'm wondering if maybe they're working on a 4K version. That would be really quick. Oh, actually, Martin says it is 60p. So 1080p, 60 frames a second is live. And let's, I've actually got it connected to this laptop back here. And so we're, using NDI, we're connecting all sorts of sources. Let's see if it's, is it live or is it Memorex? Let's see if we can make this input come up here. And yeah, there we go. Well, no. Doesn't look like we can get it. Well, let's try it. Here we go. So that is, yeah, there we go. That is actually my PTZ cam across the room that we're connected to by, it's the only SDI camera I had in the studio. I've got some converters, but didn't have time to set them up because I was doing all sorts of other crazy stuff. Yeah, there we go. We can zoom in a little bit. And we're connected HD SDI, and connected to the laptop as you just saw. And that's, you know, gee whiz. That's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. It doesn't even have drivers. I mean, it does have drivers. I take that back. But Magewell doesn't have to supply drivers because it uses the drivers that come with Windows. And so, boom, you literally plug it in with this Asus laptop. It goes dong dong. And then, pow, you've got video. It's really pretty cool. Really pretty cool. So, you know, it's kind of a makeshift review, but it's a review of something that's easy to use and is perfect, especially for a portable setup, or if you're in a situation where you've got 4 ports of high-definition video already and you don't want to go out and buy another 4-port card. You get the ability to plug in a 5th camera to your studio system and have that USB 3.0 dongle available for travel or taking home when you need it. It's $300. You can get it at our website, easternshorebroadcasting.com. We'll have it to you. In fact, you know, we can even have it to you next day. So $299, I think, is actually the price. And actually, for anybody that wants one this week, starting May 25th, we'll do free 2-day shipping. Free 2-day shipping if you within the U.S. Sorry, I see Sweden is doing, yeah, all right, free 2-day shipping. Within the U.S., free 2-day shipping between now and next week's show, starting May 25th. So go into easternshorebroadcasting.com, and we will send either HDMI or the SDI version. Free 2-day shipping. No, they're going great nuts in the chat room right now. It's free? No, it's not free. The shipping for 2-day shipping is free. And somebody says, I could just drive over and pick one up. That's true. You could. All right. Let's see. Where are we going next with that? This is so much fun. This is so much fun. You know, today's show is such a messed up deal because of all the problems that we had earlier. So it's just nice to say, well, what the heck? You know, it is what it is. So I wanted to do a black bag today, and let's see how we're going to be able to do that. Can we do that? Can we do that, folks? Can we do that? I think we can do that. So let's do a black bag. Let's do a black bag, and we'll do our official black bag. Ta-da! It's time for a black bag. Okay. In today's black bag, we are going, and this is just a black bag is a bag of connectors and adapters and tricks that you need to have and need to know about, because you never know when you're going to have to use them. So in this case, this is a little trick to help you get your vMix production started quickly and with the right preset. And it's really, really pretty cool. So let's see, can we do this? Will this work if I do that? Yeah, okay, so now you're looking at my desktop. And over here on my desktop, don't pay attention to all this other stuff. Right there is a vMix preset. And you can see that that vMix preset has today's date, 5-25-16. And if I were to double click that preset right there, it would load vMix and load my preset. So every day when I go to start a show, I have another preset over here that I call Skype Call, because I want to have animated background for my Skype call when I'm talking to folks over Skype. I'm just bragging. That's right. So next time you have vMix up and you're running a show or running a broadcast, save a preset to the desktop and then use that preset to start your vMix for your show. That's how you do it. Isn't that cool? I like that. I like that. So let's see if we can, drum roll please. Da-da-da-da-dum. Bah! That was Tom's Bag of Tricks. Thanks to Martin K for the video. Isn't that cool stuff? And for those of you that are overseas and use a different date format, it works for any date format. It doesn't have to be the format that I use. So all the European guys are going nuts over that. That's too funny. That's too funny. We are coming close to the end of our time today together. For those of you that are watching live, you're welcome to join us in the post show. It looks like William Lee has arrived, and so William, since you are the last one to arrive, you're going to be bringing treats, refreshments to post show. So we'll talk about that in just a second. I mean, it's virtual reality. You know, what have you got in your virtual reality refrigerator? Anyway, sorry, I'm just getting a little wacky here because it's been a wacky kind of day. Coming up in 3 weeks, I think it's 3 weeks, could be 4 weeks. Anyway, coming up June 22nd, we're going to have another special guest, and his name is Rudy Ellis. Rudy is the CEO of a company called Switchboard Live. Switchboard Live is the old Joycaster. If you remember Joycaster, 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 is that one of a couple of companies out there that will take your feed and send it out to multiple CDNs for you. Send it out to YouTube and Twitch and all the other freebies, and also to ones that you might want to pay for, like Decast or others like that. So Rudy's going to come on. He's going to talk about Switchboard Live, talk about some of the things they're doing. They're making a little adjustment in how their company is working now, and they've changed. It used to be called Joycaster, and now it's going to be called Switchboard Live. And he's got a really interesting story about where he came up with the name Joycaster to begin with. I'm not going to steal his thunder, although I'm really tempted to because it's a great story. Anyway, that's June 22nd. Rudy Ellis will be here to talk with us about how to send multiple streams by just sending him one stream. And actually, for all you cheapskates like me, some parts of his service are free, so you could utilize his services for free without paying. How's that? How's that? Free without paying. So that has brought us to the end of another exciting episode. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. If you've made it to this far in the end of the show, by all means do. Full disclosure, I'm an authorized reseller for vMix and for VidBlaster and for Magewell and for PTC Optics, and I design and build custom PCs for folks that need them in the talk show world, in the computer world, the church broadcasting world, and the sports world. Those are sort of the three main markets that we work with, but we work with all sorts of folks. We just placed one in a community TV station in Connecticut. I think it got delivered yesterday, and they're all excited. They open the box. Of course, we go nuts when the box, when we ship something. Number one, it's a double wall corrugated box, and then it's full of peanuts or the inflatable plastic padding, and then inside is another box. And in this case, inside that was another box with the PC inside that. So by gosh, it's going to arrive in pristine condition. And you end up with this giant box and all these peanuts that you'll never ever use. So if you get a PC from us, actually, you could probably sell the box. The boxes are pretty expensive, but it's worth it to have it get there without a problem. That's the whole idea. We're making solutions, not causing other problems. So if you're interested in that, shoot me an email, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com, and we can chat about it and see. You may say, "Oh, well, Tom, it's out of my budget." Well, it might not be out of your budget, or it may be out of your budget now, but it may not be out of your budget next year. So we've got a formal request for another 30 minutes of the show. Well, you guys hang around for the post show. The post show is a lot of fun too. Oh, and for those of you that are watching today, right now, either live or on YouTube, this version, well, there are going to be two versions of this show. There's going to be the YouTube live version, which is going to run, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half, because it'll include the pre-show, the show, and the post-show. And then that'll be maximum resolution of 720p, and then there'll also be the part that I upload later to YouTube that'll have a similar title, and it'll be about 30 minutes long. It won't include the pre-show, it won't include the post-show, but it will be at 1080p. So if you missed the show and you want to just watch the show portion, you want to watch in high resolution, hit that one. If you don't care about the resolution and you want to see all the comments and all the crazy stuff we talk about before and after the show, and you want to see about who was it? About William Lee's refreshments in the post show today, then you'll definitely be able to find out about that. Anyway, it's too crazy. Thank you for watching. We're delighted that you could be with us today. What am I trying to figure out here? I guess we're just gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna close out of here. We're gonna have a double graphic again. So I'm warning you that in advance. But it's okay. It is gonna be okay. Y'all take care. We'll see you next week.